Good morning, Columbus. Thank you so much for tuning in today's daily dose of digital Torah inspiration here at Sinai Studios, Judaism Today. And they lived happily ever after. Those words from every Disney movie, from every fairy tale, from every story of our childhood, always conjure up this idyllic image of riding into the sunset and everything working out for the best. At those moments in movies, at those moments in books, sometimes we have this tingling sensation. We're happy, we're in awe, we're elated. There's such a moment, lahavdil, in the story of Torah. The Megillah says, after Achashverosh agrees to allow Mordechai and Esther to fight back against the initial decree against the Jews, and Mordechai is appointed to be one of the king's royal advisors. That Mordechai goes out before the king. We read these things in unison in shul. That Mordechai goes out in regal clothing and tchelas vachor, the crown. And then it says, La Yehudim haisa ora v'simcha v'sasam vikar. You can imagine there was tremendous joy to the Jews, was light and joy and rejoicing and preciousness. But then there's something very unusual. We get why the Jews are happy. They just sort of won. Achashverosh put his thumb on Mordechai's side. But then it says, Va'ir Shushan tzahala v'samecha, that the city of Shushan was filled with rejoicing. And that's so hard to understand. The city of Shushan was filled with rejoicing? We're going to see about a war which unfolds against the inhabitants of Shushan in a minute. Why was the city of Shushan uplifted through this? The city of Shushan should have been upset that this chaos and tumult is happening. Why are they happy that Mordechai was just uplifted and Haman was degraded? The Heilige Berdichever of Rabbi Yitzchak Berdichev says a beautiful idea. He says, because when the right thing happens, when the righteous serve God and are victorious, that simcha somehow extends itself to everyone else. The city of Shushan was not Jewish. They weren't Jews there. And yet they sensed that the right thing was happening. They sensed that the righteous Mordechai was being elevated and the wicked Haman was being degraded. They sensed the miraculousness of the moment, the spirituality of the moment, without really understanding what was happening. And that's what the Megillah says, Va'ir Shushan tzahala v'samecha, that the city of Shushan itself rejoiced with this, even though it would suffer in just a few short passages. But when the right thing happens, when the righteous things happen, when the good things happen, when there's a true happily ever after moment, we can all sense it. And this is it gave me incredible inspiration, this idea. Because what this means is that when we as Jews do the right thing, when we serve God the right way, when we do Torah and mitzvos the right way, when we live proper Jewish lives, then the entire world senses that there's something great. There's so many stories of non-Jewish politicians who've been inspired by the lifestyle of the Jew and what the Jews have brought to the world. And this is true not only on a macro level, not only in historical terms, but in each and every one of our own lives. Tonight is one of the most special nights of the year. We're going straight in from the holiness of Purim, which we're taught by tradition is like Yom Kippur, even holier than Yom Kippur, into the holiness of Shabbos. When we observe the Shabbos the right way, when our Shabbos observance, is filled with spirituality and filled with meaning, the world gets it. The world gets it. People see. You don't have to be Jewish to see the spirituality then here's of Shabbos. It was famous said by some of the great kiruv rabbis, outreach rabbis. More than any brilliant lecture, two warm, hot, delicious challahs on Friday night in the company of family and candles does more to inspire. And that's the truth. Let's take this idea with us. Let's take the notion that when we do the right thing, when we live great, phenomenal Jewish lives, that it uplifts everyone else. And let's have that amazing Purim, and let's have that amazing Shabbos, and in so doing, uplift the world around us. Have an amazing Purim and a great Shabbos. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Judaism Today. If you did, please make sure to follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, or check into our podcast wherever podcasts are listened to, and we look forward to hearing from you more.